Okay, let's get started with chapter 32 of Allan Stratton's The Dogs. We only have 90 pages left to go. When I come to, Ken and Mr. Sinclair are gone. I don't ask where or why. I don't say sorry either. I don't say anything. Why am I here? Why am I anywhere? I wish I could disappear forever. The cops get me down the ladder and onto the couch in the living room. I stare at the baseboard across the room. Mom's been crying. She goes to the kitchen with a thin cop. They talk quietly while the other one stands in the archway, arms crossed in case I do anything. Eventually, Ken returns with an overnight bag and the cops leave. I'm going to set up a cot for Ken in the big room upstairs, Mom says. He'll be staying here tonight. What? You're scared of me? No, Cameron, I'm scared for you. She sits beside me and puts her hand on mine. I don't stop her, but I don't look at her either. Just keep staring at the baseboard. If you have another outburst like what happened upstairs, I'm not strong enough to stop you. So I say to Ken, do I call you Mr. Security Guard or what? I'm here to help, Ken says. That's all. I care about you. We all do. Right. Ken's going to arrange an appointment for you with his family doctor, Mom says. The doctor should be able to give you medication for your nerves until we can set you up with someone to talk to. You mean a shrink? Mom pauses. This is my fault, Cameron, not yours. I should have seen this coming long ago. These past few years have been so hard on you. I thought I was all you needed, but I was wrong. I'm sorry. I hear what she's saying, but it's just words. The officers say there won't be any charges so long as nothing else happens. They think it would be a good idea for you to stay home for a few days. Do you have any classes with Cody? Are your lockers near each other? I shake my head. Good. They say it's best if you see him as little as possible. Yeah, after all, I'm a freak, right? Like I could beat up a guy like Cody. As if. Ken's canceling his appointments for tomorrow. He'll be here with you while I figure out things with the school. I'll see your teachers and get work for you to do so you don't fall behind. I'll also speak to your history teacher and have him cancel that essay about the farm. There is no essay, I say quietly. Mom catches her breath. She's about to say something, but Ken must have caught her eye because she doesn't. We'll get through this, is all she says. I get ready for bed, and Mom comes in to say goodnight. She turns on a night light, reminds me of that Ken's down in the hall, and if I need anything, and gives me a kiss on the forehead. I love you. I stare at the ceiling. She leaves. I hear Ken and her setting up the cot. It's not very comfortable. He must really like her. I hear the stairs creak as she goes downstairs to her room, and then I hear Ken settling in. Everything goes quiet. I lie still for a very long time. Jackie, why weren't you there? Where are you? Silence. Maybe Mom's right. Maybe I am crazy. Mom checks in on me in the morning. I pretend to be sleeping. I ache all over. There's a nasty bump on my forehead and my arms are bruised. I really banged myself up last night. I hear Mom and Ken talking in the kitchen. I'm pretty sure it's about me. Mom leaves before 8. She probably wants to see the principal first thing. When I finally come down, Ken gets me cornflakes and toast. The whole time talking about the weather like nothing happened last night, and it's not totally weird he's here. You like coffee with milk, right? And lots of sugar? He winks. Me and that cappuccino machine. I don't feel like smiling, but I do. Not really. He watches me eat. Want anything else? Living on my own, I know how to make bacon and eggs. I'm also pretty good at takeout. I shake my head. It's hard, but I have to say it. I'm sorry about the attic. That's okay. I hope Mom knows. Absolutely, she loves you. I focus on my toast or I'll lose it. I was so sure. I've been sure about lots of things that didn't turn out the way I expected. Nothing wrong with that. I think for a long time. There's a reason I thought what I thought. Ken smiles. There's always a reason we think things. He's not going to ask. He's going to make me say it. Promise you won't tell Mom? I can't promise that, but whatever it is, she'll understand. She won't. Well, I will. I look in his eyes. He looks right back. Okay, here goes. A few nights after we got here, I thought I saw a kid looking out from the hole in the hayloft. I knew a boy lived here years ago because of the stuff in the basement. I found his drawings in the coal room. His name was Jackie. Want to see them? Sure. I take Ken up to my room and show him the pictures. Ken frowns. I'm no expert, but this boy sure doesn't seem like a happy camper. No kidding. I knew the story about Mr. McTavish and the dogs from the school, and see how his mom disappears from his drawings, and then these ones. You have to look hard, but see the dogs, the teeth, the tails? I pause. Ken doesn't react. Not like he's judging, just waiting for me to go on. So I do. Anyway, with all of that, I started to wonder if Mr. McTavish had killed them, and maybe the kid I thought I'd seen was Jackie's ghost or something, especially after I heard how Cody's great-grandmother thought Mr. McTavish killed not just Jackie's mother, but Jackie and her cousin, too. So I started to research, and I got that stuff from you at the Bugle, and things got bigger and bigger in your head until last night. Yeah, but even before that, way before. I mean, I've been hearing his voice, sometimes just in my head, other times like he's beside me. Did I actually say that? Ken keeps on nodding, like what I've said makes total sense. I can understand why you were so upset. You can? One of the many things I like about you, Cameron, is that you care about people. You try and imagine yourself in their shoes, so I'm not surprised you'd feel for the boy who made these drawings. Imagine how he'd look and sound. But I do more than that. I talk to him, Ken. All the time. I talk to him, Ken, all the time. Mom says my lips move. She's right. Sometimes I catch myself. That part's harder for Ken, but he doesn't laugh. I think we all talk to ourselves. Maybe we don't talk out loud or move our lips, but when things are important, we imagine what we're going to say or what we should have said. Not to a ghost. No, maybe not, but I'm not God. There are lots of things I don't know or understand. Maybe it's only because I've never been through them. He gives me a fatherly pat on the shoulder. You're a good kid. Thanks. Before we get up, there's something I have to say. I'm glad you and Mom are friends. I'm playing video games upstairs when Mom gets back. She has a word with Ken, then calls me to the living room. She looks like hell. For the rest of the week, you'll be coming to town and doing your schoolwork at the realty office. I can't have you here alone. Ken's agreed to stay overnight till we know things have settled down. Next week you'll be at school on probation. The Murphys are very upset, but they've agreed with the principal that you can attend class if you don't speak to Cody. You have your lunches in the guidance office, not the cafeteria, and you don't take the school bus. I'll drop you off in the morning, and you'll report to the office at the end of each day, where you'll wait until I pick you up after work. Finally, there are to be no more video games. What? Cameron, this isn't a conversation. It's what's happening. You'll be seeing Ken's doctor this afternoon. I'll be asking him to refer you to a therapist for reasons which should be obvious, Cameron. Talking to imaginary friends, to ghosts. A whirl on Ken. You told her? I had to. Chapter 33. The rest of the week is the most lonely time of my life. I see Ken's doctor, who gives me a prescription for sleeping pills, which he calls a muscle relaxant, and one for antidepressants that he said should kick in after about 10 days. Wolf Hollow is too small to have a shrink, or for anyone to want to be seen going to one, but he sets me up with one in Ramsey. She's too busy to see me right away, but she'll squeeze me in if there's another episode. Aside from seeing Ken's doctor, I'm stuck at the real estate office doing homework in a storage room. There aren't any windows, so it's like being in solitary. Mom said I could work up front near her, but that would be worse. Everyone coming in would wonder why I wasn't at school. At least if I'm hidden, we can pretend I've been sick, which is actually what Mom thinks, only she means it like sick in the head. That's the other reason I chose the storage room and stay in my bedroom when we're home. Every time Mom looks at me, it's like she wants to cry. Mostly I lie in bed and stare at the framed photo on my night table of Mom and my grandparents. I imagine the snapshot of Dad hidden underneath. Does he look like I remember? I want to know so bad, but what if, when I see his face, I get this overwhelming need to call him? A need where I can't stop myself. I mean, his cell number's on the back. It's right there. I think about Dad a lot. There's not much else to think about besides how I don't have any friends or anyone to trust, or how maybe I'm crazy like Mom thinks. I mean, Jackie, what was that about? A few days ago, I gave up asking him why he'd lied to me and gotten me into trouble. I gave up because, well, I was just talking to myself. He never said anything. I mean, it was like he wasn't there, and maybe he wasn't, ever. After all, what did I ever know about him that I couldn't have guessed from seeing the stuff in the basement? His drawings, Mr. Sinclair's photographs, or the articles in the Bugle? Or that I might have made up because of stuff that happened with Mom and Dad, or dreams that felt real? If I made up Jackie, what else did I make up? That's what I think about when I think about Dad. Like, what if Dad in my head, the one Mom warns me about, isn't anything like my real dad at all? What if the fears Mom has about him are things that she's blown up, like I blew up things when I heard about Mr. McTavish? Like that time he abandoned me in the middle of nowhere? What if it seemed like the middle of nowhere because I was little, but it was really a park, and for him, we were just playing hide and seek? Or that time he held me underwater, maybe it was training, after all. I can hold my breath the length of a pool now, can't I? Or that Facebook thing. What if he just missed me and it was his only way to find me? Mom's kept him away for years. What other choice did he have? Maybe she made him do it. Maybe it's her fault. And about that time on the balcony, he'd never have dropped me. He was just playing airplane. Lots of dads do. Maybe I've remembered things all wrong. When I think that, I hate myself for blaming him about things that aren't his fault. Then I hate myself for doubting Mom. I'm a bad son to Dad, to Mom. What's wrong with me?